There have been several concerns raised, particularly in recent times, regarding how long it takes police officers to respond to emergency calls. During a recent meeting with Main Street businesses, Deputy Police Commissioner David Morris explained that the police force is on the verge of completing a control room, which will significantly assist in a timely response to emergency calls. Walter Barrett has the details.
There have been several concerns expressed in public circles in recent times over the time it takes for police to respond to a call made by a resident in need of their assistance. During last Saturday evening's episode of Speak Your Mind, one caller to the program brought up the issue of response time by the police and even suggested the use of rapid response vehicles that are being used in other countries, which could be deployed on call, carrying officers and their equipment.
So how come when something happens in town it's half an hour for police to reach? Or if something happens down Seacoast Base and next half an hour for some police to reach? We'd like to have them thing at certain points. That as soon as something happens, at least they could call, yes, the men are driving a blue car on the way down to Seacoast Base. In 5 minutes they don't have man in the Jeep waiting.
The issue of the police and response time was also raised at the recent meeting conducted between the Main Street Businesses Association and members of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, where Deputy Police Commissioner David Morris explained the process that transpires when a 911 call is made. The Deputy Commissioner said that the calls do not go straight through to the police, but first go through the Fire and Rescue Department, and the process accounts for much of the time that is lost.
What happens at the moment, as you all know, 999 call comes in, alarm call comes in, it goes to the fire service. Then the fire service pick up the call and they say, what do you want? You say, I'm being burgled, I need a police officer. They then send it to the road town desk. And if the officer at the road town desk is talking to somebody, signing bail or something like that, the phone's ringing, doesn't answer the phone. By the time they get to answer the phone, minutes have elapsed. They then got to ring to find an officer. Unless the officer's standing next to them, our radio system doesn't work very well. So they can't call them up on the radio, they have to ring them, and our officers end up using their own personal mobile phones to be contacted. And then of course in Road Town we cover from Seacoast Valley all the way up through to Fort Hill and up by Bellevue. Right? And on an average night we have maybe 2 to 3 patrol officers out, and that equates to about 1 or 2 jeeps, plus some of our firearms teams and things like that. So if they're around, we contact them, they get there. Right? So, you know, when we talk about 10 minutes, that's pretty good going.
But according to the Deputy Police Commissioner, changes are on the way, as a new control room, which is now in its completion stages, will help the police better monitor and respond to calls that are made to the police stations across the territory.
So as part of the CCTV project, we're actually putting a control room in. We're upgrading all the radios. We're having to change our repeater towers because, of course, we've got lots of spots where the radios don't work for one reason or another. So we're having to change all the repeater towers, get more radios, improve the radio system, get the officers to use radios because we need to retrain them all into radios because the force has become so reliant on mobile phones. So that when we're picking up through town and country planning, they've got a GIS system, GIS mapping system, which we're going to buy as well. But it costs money. I think the license is about $6,000. Right? Now all of this we're having to find out of an existing budget. There's no money, additional money for this. We're having to make do and pull things together. From the mapping system in the control room, we're able to see where all our officers are because all our cars are getting equipped with GPRS signalling devices. So we know where the cars are. So whenever we want to call a car, regardless of whether it's West End, East End, Road Town, whatever, nearest vehicle will attend. Now that's the plan. So, and we're hoping to get all of that in place by the end of this year, beginning next year.
In a recent police press release, David Morris, who took His Excellency Governor Boyd McCleary on a tour of the control room, revealed that the facility has the potential to change the way police respond to incidents within the territory.
So when you ring us up by 999 or 911, still go through the fire service because that's the system the government have introduced here. But what will happen now is they'll put it through to the control room. So it won't go to East End or Jos Van Dyke or wherever, it will go to the control room. Control room officers will pick it up because a big red light will flash because it's an emergency call, and they will command and control the unit straight out.
The project is expected to be completed by early next year, But it is said that many of the changes will take effect long before its completion, as the police force begins to put into effect some of the areas of the project that are workable right now. This is Walter Barrett for JTV News.